Realme launched its X7 and X7 Pro 5G capable phones earlier this year, and now the company is adding the X7 Max to the same family. This model is even more powerful than the Pro thanks to its MediaTek Dimensity 1200 processor. But that's not all it has to boast of. There's also 50-watt fast charging and a 64-megapixel primary rear camera, among other things. So we're going to check all of that out in our unboxing today. Let's get started, but before we do that, please do remember to subscribe to the Gadgets 360 channel and hit the bell icon so you know whenever we post a new video. So here's the box of the Realme X7 Max. It looks basically the same as the boxes of the X7 and X7 Pro. We can see a few of the key specifications on the back. So there's that Dimensity 1200 processor with 5G integrated, the 120Hz Super AMOLED screen, 50-watt charging, and 3 cameras on the rear, the primary one being a 64-megapixel one. Now this unit is Asteroid Black. So that's all there is to see on the outside. Let's break the seal. So right on the top we have this inner box which has the SIM eject tool, and the usual case plus paperwork on this side. We can put that down and get our first look at the phone itself. So here it is in Asteroid Black. Can get our first look at the two-tone finish. So we have a largely matte surface with this very glossy stripe down one side of the back asymmetrically that encloses the camera module as well as the Realme logo and slogan, which are much smaller than they've been in the past. You don't have Dare to Leap emblazoned across most of the back. This is still prominent, but a lot of people will prefer it, and the company says that this is in response to feedback that its previous design was a little too much for some people. So here we can see the 3 cameras on the rear. And we'll get to the details of those in a moment. Here's what the rest of the phone looks like. We'll turn that on and check out the rest of the box contents while it's booting up. So here we have the USB cable, which is Type-C on one end and Type-A on the other. And then there's the very familiar looking Super Dart charger. So there we have it, the Realme X7 Max box contents. I'm just going to rush through the setup process here, and then we can talk about all the specifications and features of this phone. So now let's get a much closer look at the new Realme X7 Max. This phone will displace the X7 Pro at the top of Realme's premium mid-range lineup, and that's largely because of the Dimensity 1200 processor, which the company says should be competitive with something like the Snapdragon 870. And of course, this phone will take on competition from the likes of OnePlus and Xiaomi, so that will be interesting to see. The Dimensity 1200 does have integrated 5G, and plenty of bands are supported in India. Realme also tells us that we'll be able to have dual 5G, dual SIM, dual standby, so that should be pretty interesting. And other than its performance and 5G capabilities, the other big point is power efficiency. So we have a 4500 mAh battery in this body, which is actually relatively slim and light. The phone is 8.4 millimeters thick and weighs 179 grams. Charging speed goes up to 50 watts, and Realme says that you can get a 50% charge in about 16 minutes. On the front, we have a 6.43-inch Super AMOLED display with a 120Hz maximum refresh rate and an integrated fingerprint sensor. Realme also says you can expect 100% DCI-P3 color gamut coverage. In terms of software, we're running Realme UI 2.0. It's based on Android 11, and the company does say that there will be an update to Android 12, but there's no commitment yet in terms of timelines or what to expect beyond that. We have a power button on the right, the volume buttons and SIM tray on the left. There's nothing much to be seen on the top. And at the bottom, we have a 3.5mm audio socket, a USB Type-C port, and the speaker. Let's just pop the SIM tray open now, and as you can see, there are spaces for 2 nano SIMs, but no storage expansion. So as you can see, we have 3 cameras on the rear. The first is a 64 megapixel primary camera, and then we also have an 8 megapixel ultra wide and a 2 megapixel macro camera. On the front, you can see a 16 megapixel camera in a little hole cut out in the upper left corner of the screen. Other things worth noting are that the Realme X7 Max has an IPX4 rating, which means that it should be splash proof but not necessarily dust resistant. The front is also made of Asahi Dragon Trail glass. So there you have it, the new Realme X7 Max and all its key features. Do let us know what you think of this phone in the comment section. Thanks for watching.